Yeah, boys, and we're back at it again. Today, it's about the forearms, and it's something that gets disrespected. We all know this. If you've got a crazy set of forearms aesthetically, you already distance yourself from the pack, right? We all focus on the biceps and the triceps, and sure, there's some bicep training that can transfer over into forearms. But what about how do we actually implement it in a way to where it's super easy? Because if you're new on this page, and if you're not new on this page, I have this sledgehammer forearm sequence that I do. But it made me think, because a lot of people are like, I don't have a sledgehammer just like laying around at the gym, which makes sense, in most cases. Or I don't have an actual sledgehammer at the house, which would do you just fine. But then I started really thinking, like, if I wanted to grow the size of my forearms, right? And I still would always lean in on that one just because I think it's the best, especially for bicep tendonitis. But that's a video for another day. But regardless, this is only going to help you out. A lot of times when people have elbow tendonitis and their elbows hurt and I feel like, it's getting in the way of my performance. A lot of times, regardless of what it is, but let's just use the elbow as an example, it's just by strengthening this area. And I can't believe I forgot to do this because the last video I didn't do it, but we're going to take off the pump cover. All right, that's absolutely what we're going to do. We're going to take off the pump cover, but we can do so in a way, it's just we have to implement certain lifts a little bit differently. And so I'm going to show you guys is a superset that I like to do for forearms when I don't have the sledgehammer at my house, right? So down in the dungeon, and this is how we do it, and I'm not even going to move. Most of the time I go up, I smack the camera. Not today. I'm going to do everything right from here. So you're going to grab yourself an easy bar just like this, right? And why I'm having you sit down is because standing up could be a little bit different. I just want to make sure that you kind of know exactly what we're doing here. So obviously when it comes to, a regular bicep curl, we're full range of motion respecters, right? Full range, hold at the bottom, come at the top, boom. We don't sacrifice, even with reverse especially. I like going just like that because you're maximizing your time. But if we're going specific for forearms itself, what I like to do is I'll sit down and let's just start off with something easy, just like a regular curl. So I'll stop this way. And a lot of times we focus on obviously full ranges of motion on this page. But with forearms, you actually want to stop and only focus on the top portion. But what we want to do is reverse the grip. So what I like to do is this superset. And this is how I'm going to start off, right? Start off 90 degrees, just like this. Boom. Boom. Just like that. I'm going to take you through a whole set. I'll probably do 15 of these bad boys. Probably should have gone a little bit heavier, but we're here now. And we've arrived. But notice, I'm not sacrificing. I'm not letting it drop. I don't want my biceps to take over. We want... All right, and then what I do right afterwards is then I flip it over to regular grip because this is obviously a lot easier to do. Boom. Ooh. Easy as 1, 2, 3. And with forearm training like that, what's so nice about it is I'm always going to try to give you guys something that's super easy to do. Like everybody has a bar. You can do it with a straight bar. You can do it with an easy. I prefer the easy bar. I just feel like it does what I want it to do, just with a little bit more precision and accuracy. Because you guys know, here on this page, we're snipers. Dead between the eyes. And with forearm training, what's nice about it is it's flexible, right? Most people aren't doing forearm training, but I also like the idea of you guys being able to instill a superset that's realistic for you guys, right? You don't have to move, and it requires the same exact bar with the same amount of weight, run them back to back, and it's perfect. And I know usually my videos are a little bit longer, right? But some things don't really need that much deep of a conversation or, intricate knowledge. Those things, it's really funny when it comes to forearms, especially with curling. It's a lot of those half rep ranges. Like if you guys ever see arm wrestlers when they do their trainings, a lot of their stuff is just almost from like this range of motion. Or if they're ever like doing, like they have a cable machine, they're almost going like this. Or if they're doing wrist curls, they'll actually go up against their knees and then kind of just like come up this way, because it's all kind of constricted here, but they also have very, very strong grip and forearm strength. You have to for arm wrestling. So that's how I usually like to look at things, is like, okay, so whose job is it to have crazy forearms that can actually instill strength? And I'm like, well, arm wrestlers. Obviously, there's plenty of others, but it's always a fun one to pick, just because when you start doing the superset, you'll notice it. Like, a lot of it's very, very dense up here. You'll notice, obviously, you need a little bit thicker forearms over here. But it's just because they're all trying to get into this position. But this position also allows us to build up the forearm really, really well. You know what I mean? This one, no matter what, having stronger forearms is only going to help your body feel a lot fresher, especially joint-wise. Just because it's taking a lot of pressure off. Like, whenever people have bicep tendonitis, and listen, like I said, there will be a video coming on it. I'll grab the sledgehammer and I'll show you guys exactly how to do it. Even then, you could do it probably with an easy bar. But nonetheless, having strong forearms, no matter what's going to allow alleviation. Like, if someone has really, really bad hip pain, if you guys have bad hip pain, what that means is that muscle's overworking. It's not that that's the problem. You need to get your glutes activated, like learn how to actually activate them and make them the dominant muscle in your walking pattern or running pattern, whatever it is. If I have front shoulder pain, typically it's because my rear delts and my rhomboids along my upper back as well, all of those muscles are weaker in comparison to this. It's an overuse issue in comparison to the opposite side. So if I have elbow problems, typically I need to work on this whole area. That includes wrist strength, that includes your hand grip. A lot of those things, people don't realize it, but if we do so in a way that actually allows our forearms to grow in size while increasing hand grip, wrist strength, it's only going to alleviate that pressure that you're putting on your elbow. And the reason why there's so much elbow joint issues you're having is because there's an overuse to it. It's overworking. And it's because these muscles are weak to where we have to put a little bit more tension on the joint, which we don't have to do. We just have to strengthen these muscles all along over here, from your hands to your wrists, all the way through your forearms. And like I said, we're doing so in a way that's actually going to grow the size of your forearms. So anyways, I know today was a little bit of a weird video, but something that was coming down for, I was hitting my second 2 a day. It's like 12:30 at night. It's like 12:30, I think. Well, the phone's there, so I can't see it, but probably around 12:30 at night, or in the morning, I should say. And these are always my second training sessions. I always like to focus on specific portions, but I'll explain that in the video next, because you guys have been asking about, you know, how do you do your split and why do you do your split the way you do? We'll start explaining this stuff out now that you guys are interested. But regardless, I appreciate you being here, and I hope this is well worth your time. If there's anything that you're looking for specifically, drop it down in the comments, and if people like those comments, give those a thumbs up, and then when I don't make a video on it, as always, I love y'all very much. Uncle Rami out. Peace. Lost my train of thought. We're talking about easy bars. I was talking about this. Oh, I remembered. Silly me. Actually, I forgot.